Oh, that didn't do an animation. Unlucky. How's it going, gang? It's bonus content for episode 10. So if you're seeing this, I actually got around to editing it. We are going to get the Boko out. At the time of the recording, there's not as much Boko out as there should be, but there'll be lots of it. And today, we're going to take a little break from doing the colors, but it's still going to be another top 5 list. This one, Tom's idea, a very, very good one. Top 5 criminals that got away with it.
The true crime enthusiasts among us already freaking out.
Oh, you know, I should have done that. It's just like, some people commit absolutely heinous war crimes, but not all of them are punished for their injustice.
I don't follow like any crime or like crime drama stuff. I didn't even watch like Tiger King. I know that was like a big thing a couple years back. I was gonna make like a libelous statement that the dude from Tiger King is EX2 Impmon and that he was like falsely slammed or whatever. I don't know shit about Tiger King. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for me, it's all about those 2-hour documentaries from like Turkey Tom and like The Right Opinion of some YouTuber I've never heard of. It's like, yeah, they killed 4 people. I'm like, oh, say more.
Whoa. Yeah. That's me with old anime YouTubers, man. It makes me sad.
That's actually why I quit Asda, was actually because I was running out of Turkey Tom things. I was like, oh, I'm going to go postal in the Asda in the middle of Manchester if I don't leave here, because I'm running out of brain juice.
Bro becomes the content himself.
Oh, I can't wait. Some middling 2-bit YouTuber. But right, so here's our list of criminals.
These are the ones that actually got banned. These guys did not get away with it.
Yeah.
But I think we could by and large kind of point to other cards associated with them. Can I start with an honorable mention?
Yeah, go on. We do love it. Let me open up Notepad.
I want to shout out Blossomon and Argomon. These two dickheads really did rat each other out. They are both silly Digivolve for 0 cards. Blossomon originally not as powerful as Argomon because it had no inherit, but then they went ahead and made it searchable in plants, and its days were not long for the world. So as an honorable mention, I would have previously said Blossomon got away with the murder that Argomon committed, but they got Blossomon in the end, so shout out to Blossomon for also getting hit by the shovel.
Argomon the 6x9 of the ban list?
That's a good one.
Good work. Good work. Boko jokes.
People will see this in 3 months.
That joke, don't worry, it's not like it's gonna get less timely.
If anything, it's gonna be more. He's gonna rat it out more people.
So good.
Right. So who's the Aiden Ross of?
Oh boy.
If there's any justice, it's MDF. Whatever. So I think there's a couple fun ways we could go about this. I've gone ahead and had a look at all of them just as they are. And I think the thing that's exciting about this kind of concept is that like all of these cards have like a joint criminal buddy here. So like we just talked about MDF. Mega Digimon Fusion is the most broken card in all of the Digimon TCG. I don't really think it's close. It's just completely unfair in every way. I don't know why they ever thought this would be acceptable. But it did have a prime suspect number 1. Depending on how you look at it, Lilithmon got away with the crime Mega Digimon Fusion caused, as did Analog Youth. Both of those cards are potential candidates for the one that got out.
Her name is Lilith, not Millith.
I know, yeah. Well, that's how I know her anyway. We hang out once a month. But yeah, this card, obviously obscene. The entire use of just repeatedly having access to option cards. Maybe there's also something to be said for Jack Raid being problem card in that equation. But when it comes to MDF and MDF's little crime spree, look no further than Lilith, who would continually re-enable the MDFs that you needed to find. It eventually hit the breaking point with Susanomon in the hybrid decks, where you just Susanomon off any of the level 3 Tamer cards. Deeply broken. But that puppy started out with Lilith Loop, and there it shall stay. You guys have any thoughts on Lilithmon? I think it's a good candidate. I don't necessarily know if it's like a top 5, bottom 5 kind of situation here. I don't know where we'd put this one.
Do you think we'll see people attempt the loop again with the new... Oh no, because it requires DNA, doesn't it? Ignore me.
Significantly nerfed.
The other one.
And it costs memory, which is a big deal.
Yeah, but I mean, Lilith would still make it minimal at that point.
Yeah, but you're not
sure. Lilith made it. Yeah, Lilith made it into a double hammer's mark when she used it. That's why the loop was Yeah. Ugh. Lilith gave you the 2, and then at the end of the MDF turn, the analog youth gave you more memory. So it was just even more. I hated that deck.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think there's a chance that we say this is probably like the middle one. I think there's some note to the fact that MDF is the banned card, right? Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess we don't even have a worst 5 on this list, which is interesting, because all the restricted cards are basically on there. We don't have like the 5 Justice for reinforcing memory boost is not going to be trending on Twitter anytime soon.
Yeah, there are a couple people that always insist. There's like, you know who they are. I'm not going to make a whole thing about it. We have some prominent Canadian content creators that like to shout out a particularly heinous yellow level 5.
We have
whatever.
A
it's
short
fine.
that has this exact argument.
Yeah.
Famously, it costs 1, Terry.
I get mad about it daily. Yeah, so I think that might be Lilith's position here. But this is a tough one, right? Because, like, is that the other card? You know, the premise of this is that, like, if they didn't, God help us all if they hadn't banned MDF. But is this the card they would have had to ban to keep MDF legal? Some people would probably tell us it's analog youth. But this is not your bonus content, and this was my idea.
I think Lilith could be, because another thing about a lot of these level 7s is a lot of them are like DNA guys, and a lot of them have if Digivolving do this, if DNA Digivolving do this. So I think a lot of them are now starting to get a little bit more balanced around MDF making them and then going, lol. Like, you lose half of your when Digivolving effects. You just got a free beat stick that's going to blow itself up. And half of these level 7s have fucking ace attached to them now. It's like, nice MDF. You're going to lose 5 at the end of the turn.
Yep. Very funny.
I mean,
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, you got to think about it. If you're looking at it from the analog youth thing, yeah, okay, Bandai can't predict the future.
Yeah, they can.
What do you do? But
Take a minute.
but if they were to ban the analog youth instead, then it probably would have stopped like Fenrir being the supposed day 1 destroyer of the whole set.
To be fair, I'm okay with them hitting the card that is almost mandatory in every non-mill purple draw engine.
Rude.
I do think that it does say something about, like, I love Veemon, for example. I think it's a bummer that KnTElixar is not the best tamer card in that deck.
Yeah.
But hey, one day we'll see something. Maybe Analog Youth is one of those cards. This might age really well.
I'd like to point out, by the way, I didn't get to say it, but in the Alicante regionals, Veemon beat Jesmon.
It sure did. Well, you know why, right? Because half your cards are all called the same thing, so they go Veemon, make it go away.
Oh no, like I don't think they fought each other, but I mean, like Veemon was 182 and Jesmon was 183 placed.
I'm playing Veemon at Salford Regionals. You've got to get this Boko out by then. All my testing, I've played so many Deva games, and I'm throwing it all away. Yeah, very sick.
So good.
All right, well, we'll put Lilith, we'll put her at number 5 and we'll bump her whenever she needs.
For sure.
See, I can throw one your way, and you'll agree with me.
Set me up,
saying
Jamie. I'm ready, brother.
It won't be great. You see that there nice one of Ice Wall?
Oh, Ice Wall. This is fun. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
Why is Hammer Spark unlimited when it's a 0 gain 1 memory, whereas this one is a cost 1, but debilitate your opponent for a turn?
I'm into it. This is fun. Hammer Spark is a little more criminal.
And then even Insecurity, gain 2 memory, whereas Ice Wall is Insecurity, gain 2 memory.
You know what?
Just one's better in hand.
What about we say all the 0 cost memory extenders?
Oh, like Blinding Ray and Crush?
Blinding Ray, Crush. Like, we've
Jack
talked
Raid.
about, like, Jack
Right,
Raid.
no.
We've talked about Gravity Crush all the time. It's like, oh, when Red Hybrid gets hit, it's not going to be Red Hybrid that gets hit. It's Grav Crush that will get hit for Ukamon.
But you see, the other thing is, Grav Crush has at the end of your turn, lose 2 memory. So if you get punished in any way, shape, or form...
If you win, though.
Bro, if you're dropping Grav Crush to not end the game, you are choosing to acknowledge that cost. Do you know who doesn't lose 2 memory? The guy that finishes the game with Blitz Omni.
This is true, but...
Grav Crush...
God, can you guys imagine some of these OTK decks where they had MDF Blitz Omni? They could just do that earlier, and then when it would die, you use its own effect.
JB, Grav Crush is 2 Hammer Sparks if you win the game. On one card?
Yeah, but X antibody and security is a thing, remember?
I've lost him in
Do you know what? I mean, you know what? Gravity Crush is half the cost of an ADP.
You know what? If you're playing against a blue deck, 4 of those
Wait,
and an ice ball.
sorry, we can't move past that. 0 is not half the cost.
No, as in,
one.
like, you gain 2, and then you can spend
Okay.
2 on ADP.
Sorry, I just had to check that we had moved into non-Euclidean physics for a second.
Yeah, I get that, but also
I love this
even
pick,
then-
Jamie.
Yeah, this is a really good pick, but
This is exceptionally incendiary, and the blue players will be mad.
Yeah.
even then, like I brought it up on my locals the other day, and like 2 weeks ago, because somebody was like, "I'm gonna hammer spark." I'm like, how is that not limited? But Ice Wall is, and it's like,
Were you playing into?
I like my memory.
Were you playing into Gabubon by any chance? Because that's why I lost
No,
several games on
no.
stream. The dude would type GGs. I'm like, you're on 1 memory, and you're not promoting this turn. It would be Spark, 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 Evolve, and I'm like, oh. It was like Spark, Spark, Louis, push out the Gabu print 9 memory, and I'm like,
Who was it?
ah.
Oh no, it was it was Impildramon. Spril scuffed Impildramon playing double Spark.
Spark is fine. I think Spark is maybe the most fair out
Shouldn't
of.
be at 4.
I think Spark is the most fair out of the 0 cost memory. Jack Raid. Jack Raid is.
Jack Raid needs you to have trash though.
Because of the woman.
This one is just a straight gain 1.
Because of
Nothing.
the woman on this list, I think Spark might be the most fair. You might.
No.
Okay, which is it more unfair then?
Blinding
I think
Ray.
Spark
Blinding Ray is the worst of them, just purely off of the having no security. The other two, Jack Raid and Hammer Spark have security effects. Graph Crush and Blinding Ray don't, but Graph Crush it doesn't really have a downside. Conceptually, Blinding Ray does. Most of the time,
Blinding Ray.
yeah, most of the time, Blinding Ray is actually upside for trashing your security.
I was gonna say.
I understand that, but like that was not the case when the card existed at its peak, and like.
But
To
it's
be
about
fair.
to hit a new peak.
It also does not have a security effect, which I will maintain in
Yeah.
yellow is pretty
That
debilitating.
Yeah,
is very
with
fair.
Blinding Ray, you can be at 0 security and still gain 2 memory.
Yes.
I want to be so clear, so I'm not shot in the street at the Manchester Regional for what I just said.
I'm ready to be at this point.
It is only a 9 out of 10 broken card, and the rest of them are all 10 out of 10 broken cards. It does not mean your favorite stupid overpowered deck, YouTube viewer, is still less broken than Blinding Ray. It just isn't as broken as Hammer Spark.
Yeah, Hammer Spark is just a straight gain 1, no repercussions.
Having the security effect also really does tip it over because.
I hate that. It gets my goat.
Although if you got Shumon on the board, none of these fuckers have security effects.
So true.
Yeah,
I get that
dig
Ice
it.
Wall locks your opponent out for a turn, but come on now.
Yeah, you know what? I'm down. Like, Spark.
Yeah, you want an Examon meta, and you're not afraid to say it.
Yeah, 100%.
Examon turn skip.
100%.
We'll
I'm
have
down.
Hammer Spark, Brackets, and the gang.
I love it.
Yeah, that was a
None of
fire.
them-
Jamie, that was a fire one,
That's
actually.
a good pick. You kind of actually got us heated there. I have a suggestion. I would love to give a special shout out to Jet Sylphimon. It's everybody's favorite yellow
Yeah.
asshole, and it probably could come off the ban list if you believe people.
Mm.
But I think Jet Sylphimon died so that TK and Kari lived.
Ooh.
The red-yellow tamer?
No, that's TaiKari. TK
Oh.
Kari
Sorry.
is the other buddy for. There's also an argument for it being BT1 TK that dies.
Oh, that one.
Because it's kind of just like a generic enough effect that's like add yellow card from security was good enough to see play in. Like TK is the best level 3 in yellow.
Yeah.
But this card is the one that when you think of yellow hybrid at its peak, this is one of those cards that they ran a ton of. And Setcon to an extent, but this is about the one that didn't get caught for the crime. So I'm gonna give a special shout out to TK Kari. Kind of just enables a lot of like very mundane, I will sit here and heal, I will stay with memory. Oh, you pressed for advantage, you have failed the game state check, and you will be punished for it summarily.
Do you
So-
think like this one obviously like if we're thinking about it as well in terms of like linearity, when the ban list, like when Jet Sylphie got arrested, like TK and Kari is just like sitting outside. They've got the little mobile, and they're just like giving them the updates on the criminal underworld. I think there's a time where like BT12 TK is just like succeeded. He's gone from like level 1 mobster to level 100 boss, and it's now sitting across the Yellow Empire as just like criminal overlord.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, very possibly. The other part of this archetype that like messes me up is that like they also had to hit reinforce prior to that, and that was definitely more of a setcon thing. But the fact that there was such a long period of time where yellow hybrid and setcon were just like, yeah, I'm playing the same belligerent tamer cards, whatever. Like they're all yellow assholes anyway. I think it kind of gives you the cadence there. Yellow hybrid, I've made this point 1,000 times on the show. It is a really, or especially at its height of EX2 BT8 format, it was an incredibly interesting deck building puzzle. And if you had somebody explain to you the deck building puzzle, congratulations on your top 16. So,
I'll be curious to see if it comes back now that we have more rapids for them to abuse. Patamon is the free Evo. Rapid X is going to be a thing for Stall. I'll be curious to see if we get like a yellow hybrid vaccine core. Well, no,
we're also
Geogray.
We're also like a week into BT or a weekend into BT17, and yellow hybrid is winning events. It's winning alpha cups and stuff like that. Because the new blue hybrids are also yellow hybrids, which is very funny. And we're about to have. Is it BT17 or sorry, BT18 is the hybrid set, or is it EX6 that's the hybrid set?
I think it's EX7 is the hybrid
set. EX7. Yeah, so we're gonna get another hybrid set like imminently. So I don't really want to see them touch Jet Sylphie until we know what's going on.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that I'm a big fan of them doing retrains for banned cards. Like the Mega Digimon Synthesis is a fantastic example of like, we want this card to exist, but it's dead for a reason.
Yeah, I am sympathetic.
A different one?
Yeah, I'm sympathetic in the same way that the Alphamon players had to struggle, where they only had the one Doru Greymon for so long. Whereas like the name mattered. If you print more yellow hybrid level 5s that are specifically Zoe's line, then I understand what they're doing there. But like, God, it costs 1, Terry.
I want them to print a more useful Zoe. I've told this story like 100 times, probably not on the podcast, but like my friend Primitivekage, he the GOAT, would play Zoe in Ancient Greymon OTK because if he'd drawn enough cards and hadn't seen his Ancient Greymon, or also because the non-alt has like the weird like taco error because of just like the gold print, he would just go, Zoe, check, I find my 10 warriors, there's my Ancient Greymon, and he would just happily pay the Zoe to find that card. No other yellow cards, no yellow hybrid, just like 48 red cards and 2 Zoes to just randomly find an Ancient Greymon. A little bit of
tribal security search.
It's funny.
But yeah, I think TK Kari would be my pick. If I had to pick another one, my front runner would probably be TK BT1, because I just think that card's been... Sometimes there are cards where they say they've been good too long, and then the BT1 cards are still in the game.
Yeah.
So... Yeah.
But
Mimi is not as broken. Tai is not as, like I understand what they're getting at.
Speaking of Karis that have enabled...
Yeah, dude.
You brought up a really interesting point. I think it was on the pod last week where it was like, Revelation of Light has so many targets now because there are... Is she the most represented tamer in the game?
Yeah, Kari is the most represented tamer out of the adventure cast, except there's V-Tamer Tai, which makes Tai you can now make a Tai deck, but like in one canon, adventure Kari is the most represented tamer. So
7 different Karis.
Yeah, and they're all like they are adventure Kari, so it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, purple Kari is
really
I mean, the problem is like Setcon hasn't really like Reinforce is there, but like Setcon hasn't really been hit outside.
Oh, they've never been hit. Like, I'm glad you're doing this because I was gonna be. This is me on my soapbox, like Magna Angela 1, Magna Angela 1.
Yeah, like as soon
they
as
could
you,
have
as soon as you suggested this that Magna Angela was the only card that came to mind, like off rip. But like Reinforce, I guess you could argue was a yellow hybrid hit. It was probably, I mean, I wasn't playing.
It was supposed to be
hit.
Lord Knight support. Isn't that crazy? Because the idea was that it let you stuff the target levels into security so that you could play them out off the Lord Knight.
Interesting.
Real quick.
Yeah, what's
I
up?
think Tai is the most represented adventure.
It's not the same tie.
Yeah,
it not the same
V-Tamer
tie?
tie is from the manga.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I'll
no.
pull up the post
You've
the other
got
day.
red tie, black tie, yellow tie. I'm assuming is Agu Bond tie?
He's
Adventure?
from the movie, but it's the same
Okay.
guy. But a lot of them are reboot tie.
Okay, and then you've got Tai and Kari, red and yellow.
Yep,
Then you've got
that's from Try.
Then you got BT14. Okay, he's from Tri, so forget that
Can
one.
I set this to just like Tamer or something?
Then BT14 Tai.
Yeah, at the top there's a tamer click.
Okay, yeah, because I'm just searching the word Kamiya because that is both of their surnames, so we can get both
Yeah.
of them at the same time.
BT12 Tai.
With the ties, Jamie, there's two ways you can tell which tie is which. In some arts, Ty is wearing a black wristband, and it covers some of his arm, and he's wearing brown shorts. And in the reboot, he's not wearing the black wristband, and he's wearing orange shorts.
They all look like orange shorts to me.
We'll look for the wristband.
Oh, I see.
So there were no original series ties, and like in a BT set, there were no original series ties until BT12.
Oh, I see.
We did get Try, then BT9, and then we had, I think, EX. No, I'm talking crazy. Of course, EX4 tie is also from the reboot. But yeah, Akari is the most represented from just one timeline.
Yeah,
I saw a post about that the other day on Reddit. Made me laugh.
Didn't it come out
completely
when
realized.
like this Kari?
Yes, this
Got
Kari
announced?
and Tai are still the same
Oh,
timeline.
yeah, I don't see that. Whoops.
Yeah.
My bad, I did
Yeah.
read the segment, but yeah.
No, it's good.
No,
So
this is
Kari's a
cool.
great hit, though. I love that. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, Kari's a great hit because Setcon is the problem. Like, if we're talking about it, like, oh, based on a ban list, but no ban list has explicitly gone, hey, Setcon is kind of cringe.
Well, they hit Reinforce.
They did hit Reinforce, but like, Reinforce is another one I think would be interesting to see a retrained version of.
Why does it give you 3 memory?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it gave you 2 memory, was maybe a Blazinga type beat. Blazinga's crazy as well, but like, if they just made it like a yellow Blazinga, then
That'd be fun. I'd be down to try some of these things. I really like the other advantage to doing purple Kari is it puts them needing purple Mimi more, or like purple.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's Mekumon's trainer?
Mako.
Mako, yeah. She would also have been more interesting to include in
yeah,
Setcon,
I think that's why she came to mind. Like, not only is she the most annoying tamer to hit, but the fact that she uniquely is purple instead of yellow enables specifically Setcon, because no like yellow vaccine Kari roleplay list is running this card because she's not yellow. Whereas Setcon, oh, I didn't find a rookie play Kari. Chaos deck is live for the rest of the game.
The health sites are now all basically also holy waves. Yeah, very fun.
Yeah, I think this card might be.
That's a good pick. I like it. That is a good pick.
What is the most heinous card that hasn't been banned yet, though? That's the question.
Most heinous card that hasn't been banned or restricted in any way?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably Ukomon.
Are we really gonna say Ukomon is number 1?
It's on the way. If you like, I have a lot of folks I have been speaking to about like the BT16 EX6 like format of like play 8 Ukomons and the 1 level 3 you actually care about, and it's like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if Ukomon is the one guy, but it's the one that everyone likes to meme.
He's an honorable mention, kind of in the same way that like Kari BT4 hasn't. There's been no ban list that goes, damn, how did Ukomon not get hit? Like,
well, we haven't had one really since.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I do think there is a huge power gap between BT16 Ukomon and Promo 100 Ukomon. Or sorry, 123 Ukomon. Promo 123 Ukomon is a shadow of how broken BT16 Ukomon is. That card is disgusting.
That card costs 1 because they recognized that Promo Ukomon was a problem and then didn't think about the second half.
Yeah. Busted card. Revivable off of Biodramon in Fenrir, for example. Veemon in Fenrir, for example. So, very gross.
Probably another honorable mention would be Death X /Quartz. Like,
Yeah, quartz could have been something, man. There's a lot
they
of
don't
talk
need to be
about
Was
Well-
Quartz banned in Ultimate Cup, or was it just Hydra?
Hydra was banned and HBD was banned to 0.
Yeah, it was actually to 0.
Hmm.
I couldn't remember if Quartz was, but I think Quartz was at 4, and they were just like, well, fuck it, I'll just run 4 Quartz and lock everything down.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
quartz back when green plants and hunters were both like top tier threats was probably a card people were really hyping up for. I think it was probably too new at the time then. But well, actually, I say that they've hit some stuff like Cross 4 guy pretty quick.
yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's also because they realized that they had really done goofed at the time.
That's true.
It's like a new Apoclymon was banned in the over here before it even got
Before it
released.
was released. Yeah, that's true.
So they know that something was going. Like they know to hit it when it's a real big problem.
Yeah.
Fellas, I don't want to totally manhandle the top ranking here, but I actually think I have the layup for number 1 and number 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's I'm freeing up because technically Curry hasn't dodged a ban list because none of their cards are getting hit. I'm moving her back to honorable mention, so we have 2 slots for cards that watched their friends get put in the back of the police ban.
I would love to highlight Mr. Marcus Damon, VT12.
Yep, that's why I kept the Tamer one on.
Yep. I still think the Geogramon was the right hit, but man, there were people ready for this card to go. So it's a toughie. He is kind of almost all of the power budget on their Tamer cards. The other one is great, and then even the new BT17 one is starting to see some sporadic success. But paying nothing to evolve is good.
Especially when you have burst mode.
Yeah, very good cards.
It really
It's a permanent burst mode.
it's crazy because like Geogramon was not hitting you for 2 checks, and if it dies on one of the checks, free recovery +1.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Also, it uniquely turns Shine's security despite only running like Sunrise Buster or the occasional FSB as like a bomb. It turned into Red Hybrid security, whereas like I check them up.
Yeah,
I lose the game.
trainings and Marcus.
Yeah, like I chip like even before trainings and Shine was still like arguably the diff. It was just like, oh, I checked security 1 time. My 1K rookie runs in, hits Marcus, I lose. Just on the spot. This is just go game 2. So yeah, I can see why a lot of people, myself included, wanted Marcus gone. But the fact that Geogray could be, because Geogray is so generic, and Patamon was going to get released, I think they probably made the right call.
I was hanging out in East's Discord server the other day, and I've been watching a lot of people kind of come to the realization that like the Patamon from 14 is largely just as broken as Greymon X Antibody BT11. It's just a different kind of broken because the way it interacts with the archetype, it's still busted, but it was doing a different kind of thing than Greymon Turboing.
Yeah.
And so I think like the longer we get out, the further and further away from that ban list we go, the more like, oh yeah, Geogramon had to die would be. But if they were ever going to give them Geogramon back, the Patamon probably has to go too.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It's an interesting one. I don't know. We'd have to see. Yeah, especially if you all haven't tested any EX6 yet, get ready to see a lot of Patamons. I think that card is going to hit like easy 50 quid a copy for those.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's
if you don't have your potatoes now, this is your market watch for the members who have seen this.
Boko Market Watch.
And if you're seeing this later and you're like, damn, they're already 50. Would have been a member. You would have known about it before. Or just like listen to Mario or anyone that has their head screwed on and has a platform that is acknowledging that evolving for free out of security is the reason that Geogray got hit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was one. It's so stupid and it doesn't work, and it's completely somewhat related. There was one time where one of my local guys decided to evolve in Patamon in the back, raise, and obviously do Patamon's effect. Go into the Geogray that can also search security, and then try to search the security again. You're just like, bro, that's not how that works, brother.
But I mean, Loki does. I mean, the crazy thing is you do like that plus like TK, you search your security and you know, you can just
Exactly.
as you know what's in there. Like, you know, you can set up And the fact that its inherit sees its evolution is just criminal.
Oh yeah, that's the worst bit about it. I think.
Patamon does a lot.
I'm gonna jump away with the run here. It is as good. The inherit seeing itself is only as good as BT7 Dorumon. Let's not jump the gun.
Right.
The reason Patamon's broken is
don't
because he
hurt the
costs nothing.
Don't hurt the boy.
Look, I think Dorumon is tight. It's one of the more skill-expressive parts of Alphamon. But speaking of skill-expressive parts of Alphamon, there's, I think, one obvious, like, how the hell did he not get banned card in the card game? It's this little 2-cost white tamer card, not Alphamon. Or sorry, not Analog Youth, but in fact, Mr. Cool Boy.
Oh yeah, true. Cool.
I think Cool Boy, when he dodged 3 ban lists in a row as the guy that got away, has to be the bandito they cannot catch. Even if he's not broken these days, he dodged the Burning Greymon hit. He dodged the Melga hit. Or sorry, the
Virus
Greymon. He dodged the Melga hit, and he dodged Greymon X. He dodged 3.
I'm gonna memory gauge the room this again real quick. Cool Boy, an absolutely amazing card. Should not have been. I think he's all right.
No.
He's less belligerently overpowered now as he was then because the format is less kind to him because it's caught up a little bit.
Yeah.
But in terms of the guy that got away from being on the ban list when it could have, like if this is instead of hitting Doru Greymon, they hit Cool Boy, you'd be like, well, that is a big nerf to the deck too. Instead of hitting the promo one of Metal Garurumon, or sorry, Where Garurumon, they hit Cool Boy. The same thing with Virus Greymon X. So these like X antibody like staples all got hit, and Cool Boy was like Matrix dodging the list.
Jamie, I also want to point out that I have seen you on multiple occasions have 2 memory, play a Cool Boy, then X Evo, and immediately get value back out of him. After
That's
you've
just because
already
Dexaragomon is 0-cost Evo.
Yeah, all the X antibodies are basically 0-cost Evo, which is why a card that searches top 3 can Pot of Greed and then immediately go sideways with a draw 1, gain 1 should not be at 4.
Right, but
there's hate cards for it now. We got the Devas.
You're right.
Shoutouts to my monkey who stops Cool Boy going sideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how you beat that. Deva players probably who have tested the Alphamon matchup, all 9 of us, can tell you this one. Oh man, that matchup is miserable. You have to stall their Cool Boys for as long as possible with the monkey and hope they don't go Alphamon or Yukon for all of your 7 play cost idiots. Sorry, every Digimon in your deck that's not Fang Longmon or Antilamon.
Yeah, I definitely think that, like Tom keeps saying, it's not as bad as he was way back when. Like, we definitely have ways around it.
But there is a ban list that exists that is just Virus Greymon, and everyone's like, how is it only 1 card?
I mean, I'd love the card back. Not
you want Virus Greymon?
No, not Virus Greymon. Dora Greymon.
Okay, you got me really excited there.
Please.
No, Dora Greymon was on, like, he got hit with some other homies. Like, they caught them all playing poker together.
The thing about the Digimon support that comes after these ban lists as well is they can't really go back and fix some of this or change some of this. Fix is a strong word. You can't change some of this retroactively because now there's enough other Alphamon and Doru Goramon support where it's like, no, they shouldn't have that much access to security attack inherits. That would be not great. So the damage is done. They've committed the line where they thought it should go. But Cool Boy, nonetheless, I think did the most ban list dodging of basically any Digimon card in the game.
He's easily a government plant. He's like part of the FBI, and like as he's getting arrested, he hands over. He's like, "Yo, check my pocket for my badge," and they go, "Oh, my bad, secret agent."
Yeah, he's getting arrested in bad neighborhoods selling weed to like Gabumon.
This man's got the Wesker glasses. Of course, he's getting away with it.
Yeah. Like,
he's got the Wesker stance right there.
Yeah,
my god.
Somehow Cool Boy had actually not come to mind because there were just like more egregious things. But yeah, this guy,
he dodged so many lists.
He is the one knocking.
Worth it.
He is the one getting all these other cards banned. Like, yeah, Virus Greymon, he'll be in the building at this time. So just bring 35 SWAT agent. We got him. Yep.
Put him up on April Fool's Day, no less. It's been a year since Virus Greymon got hit.
Yeah.
Oh. Was it actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
why it was so frustrating. It's because the second time in a row, Cool Boy had dodged the ban list. They put it on April Fool's Day.
To think we all thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't. It took all my practice away.
But yeah, cool. You know what
Good
cool
times.
boy that is? He is the #1 criminal that got away with it.
Of course he is.
And he still gets away with it to this day.
As he should. That man is on a
I did see
always fly list.
this card with the SOC support in BT17 is so funny, man. Like, I think we might be starting to get back to the... Like, Alphamon is a real deck. I'm never going to pretend it's not. In the formats where it's not just Tsunarizumon Sackfest, it has real crazy high roll that you'll just die to. BT17 Dexdor Goromon is a house, and having Cool Boy for that is just like, oh. So yeah, good times. Those SOC
I'm
tamers
excited.
and this dude, nasty.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah. We've once
I don't
again
think there's
cooked
any
on
other-
the Boko.
Yeah, I guess the only other one that sometimes we've talked about on the pod is like Deathslinger and the Impmon, but I feel like we've talked about that one enough that it doesn't need to go on the mentions list. I just know somebody in the comments to be like, actually, Andrew and Tom, you on episode 8 you said, and I'm like, I know what you said. Let me-
Yeah. Slinger.
Take it easy, bro.
If we were
Thanks for paying for the Boko.
If we want to rattle off, like, I guess some other honorable mentions, like Slinger, like Impmon was probably the wrong hit. Slinger.
There's some. Okay, look. I love.
You said you weren't going to talk about it.
You're right. I wasn't going to talk about it. Impmon is not the wrong hit. They just probably also maybe Slinger.
The problem I had with Impmon getting hit is that Rivals was also right there, and it's like, yes, the one of that is in the color that can be recurred frequently, whereas Slinger, once, unlike Wizardmon, once it hits the trash, it's not coming back unless you're taking Millith. Like, if you're on Lilith in Beelzemon, you wanted it so much more than we did, but like. Once Slinger goes, it's gone.
Yep.
And also it pops a level 5 for 4 costs with 10 cards in the trash, which is doable by like turn 2. That cut, yeah, that was a very weird hit that, honorable mention probably.
I think the other thing is when they made the second Iron Mako, the Impmon became so much the best searcher that it kind of got a little weird. But I'm understanding why they had to hit the Impmon for the extension primarily. But I think there's like it's weird because like it is a extender for the mill first and a searcher second, but eventually until they give us another searcher, we'll notice that Beelzemon doesn't have the searcher that the other decks do for quite a while.
I don't like EX2 Impmon as a searcher.
Well, it's just because it only finds Beelzemon and Iron Mako, because
Yes.
this is the EX, this is Digimon Tamer's Impmon. But I think it's the only search to find Iron Mako, right?
Yeah, what you're doing is you're bottom decking 4 pieces.
Yeah, so
because, like,
Rivals Barrage is how you search Ayamaka. You throw them all away and you pick it up later. So
yeah, like genuinely, whenever I see someone have to play the one of, even if it's like floating off of a Beelzemon, I'm just like, sick. You are sending the level 4 that you were missing straight to the bottom.
Yeah,
that Wizardmon's going to hell.
Yep.
Very funny card.
Cool boy.
Other
Analog Youth
honorable
is
mentions?
probably another one, like the purple card of all time.
Yeah.
I was
I think
trying to
just-
think of
just purple
anything
in
for
general,
Grandis,
right?
but Grand Kuagamon had to die in Grandis. It's just Cool Boy also sort of. Nah, not even really cool. Grandis is in its own hole in the ground.
I was gonna say Akuamon promo.
It's already at 1, isn't it?
Akuamon promo.
Oh,
is
as the new Akuamon promo?
not. Oh shoot.
Oh, sorry. You mean I know the one you're talking about? Yeah. The deck still wouldn't be one-shotting you without the security attack.
What,
I guess, but they'd have to give up damage
75?
because the thing is the P75
piercing was
gives
mattered.
piercing.
Yeah.
So like you could have Sec +1 because the first check would swing and then Grandis would redirect, you'd give up several checks. Having piercing on your unsuspend Sec +1 or Sec +2 idiot is how you play for board and then do
you kill
5
them like
checks.
that.
You can't get the second
This
Grandis
this
swing.
is a good point. I think Akuamon but I think this is I think Grandis being dead is because it's belligerently unfun and unexciting to play around, not because
Yes.
it would be completely broken these days.
Also,
So in the
Akuamon's
scenario,
all turns comes up. It's another one of those level 5s that has like it gives you an extra memory as well when you suspend something for Grandis. So Grandis is effectively 0 in a turn, like in a world before Protoform.
Yeah.
This card did
Now
a
with
lot
Protoform.
more than people remember.
yeah, card's good. Is there any other stuff? Both the scatter mode and Eismon are never coming back. Those cards are stupid. They were bad ideas when they came out. Purple was just stuck to them for so long that it's all we had. Calling exists. That's another one where Lilith got away for existing with calling.
True. I'm so glad I never played purple when calling was at 4.
It was unbelievable. You just did whatever you wanted. You didn't even have to play it at 4. Like, the second calling was enough because you'd just get Matt, and Matt would find the callings again. It was a very dumb time. They were always hitting promo-ware Garurumon. Even with Cool Boy, they would have always had to come back to hit it later. Yeah. God. I know we talked about Savior Huckmon and Tommy on the show before, but like, boy, I just hope they don't unban any of the things that are on here right now. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I have to agree with that. I think we're in a solid place right now. The only thing I'd want unbanned is obviously Dora Greymon, but that's never going to happen.
He would just immediately be the best deck again, right?
Oh, 100%. It'd be funny as hell, though.
Because that card is also invincible to everything that matters. You know a DP minus format that we're going into?
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Do you think Eismon could come back?
The original Eismon?
Now that Scatter's on the list as well?
I don't think so, because if they produce another scatter mode, because this card isn't Eismon scatter mode BT7, it's if it's deleted by Eismon scatter mode. If they print another scatter mode down the line that does this card immediately goes back to being, haha, Chimeramon Turbo.
I guess that's true. Like right now, I feel like it'd come off the list, but it would go right back on if I got my wish and we got retrains. Then yeah, it couldn't come back. But if we don't ever get retrains of Eismon scatter mode, because Eismon is one of those...
How do they even retrain scatter mode? It is the most mundane. Draw 3, trash 2.
Tone it down. Maybe...
Draw 2, trash 1. That's Garurumon.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, the reason the card saw use was because it was belligerently busted.
Maybe it's a when attacking trigger instead of an on deletion.
Ooh, that I like. Spicy. I'm gonna email the dev team.
It's just one of those things. I'm like, Eismon is one of those Digimon that for me exists in the card game. I haven't played any games that it's in. It's not in the show. It's like one of those like, okay, I've learned of this card because of its effect in the TCG. So I'd be really curious if it would ever get retrained or like something like that, because it's not like a Gabumon where they can just go, okay, we did our 9th Garurumon starter deck. Here's a Gabumon to replace the one we shot.
Yep.
Yeah.
In fact, looking at it, a lot of these cards are like, okay.
Are you noticing how much Garurumon is on the ban list, Andrew?
Yeah, I was just looking at a lot of these cards are like, oh, I love Digimon because this guy, and then you just have Eismon and Jet Sylphimon, which basically exist because of a gacha game and the TCG. Everything else is like Digimon Andy's third favorite Digimon.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Impmon.
Yeah.
He's serving time in the state penitentiary.
His crimes, they're getting
Selling
what he did
speed to
Leomon.
children. Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah,
Good work today.
I
Good
love
job
that.
on our guys who got away.
Hell yeah.
If you have any other cards that you're like, I can't believe they didn't think of Yellow Tamer here and Sunrise Buster did nothing wrong, please put it in the comments, and thanks for being a channel member. And if you didn't see this when it came out, be a channel member.
Yeah, thanks for making it this far and watching it. This was an amount of minutes plus editing that you're not getting back, but you could also get it back sooner if you join the members. And if this hit the algorithm because I've gone with the most egregious title and you're still watching, appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button. I know you haven't. Yeah, thanks.
Statistically.
Thanks for joining us again, guys.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Wowie.
Oh, yeah.